Welcome to the Zebra Modern Store retail visual image demonstration. This is a combination of three companies hitting all three pillars of the Modern Store framework. First, engaged customers, or increasing the enhancement of the customer visit, engaged associates, and optimizing inventory. We'll speak to three companies in this particular promo. Zebra, we will use their Reflexis task management system. You'll see on the screen on the upper right here the tasks that will be generated as part of this process. Secondly, we'll be working with Display Data, who are the electronic shelf label manufacturers, and with whom we will communicate to improve the relationship between the retailer and the customer themselves. Finally, the third company is Vispera Corporation. Vispera does image recognition based on what's on the shelf. So it's shelf intelligence around specific image recognition and what's specifically on the shelf by recognizing exactly what images are taken by the camera. If you can see above, we collect images by fixed camera, or we can also collect by mobile device. In this particular case, we'll be collecting by fixed camera. So the images can be collected on a scheduled basis, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every half hour. We'll be collecting them manually just to help the process flow rather than waiting 5 minutes for the next. So what we're going to do is show some specific scenarios that would occur in a demonstration, or sorry, not in a demonstration, but in a retail environment relative to out-of-stock conditions, to planogram compliance, price compliance, and so forth. So we'll begin the process by creating an out-of-stock condition by taking a product off the shelf. So I'll take a specific pasta product off the shelf and out of the camera range, and I'll step back for a moment out of the camera. We'll collect the image manually. The image is then collected, sent to the cloud or on an edge server, processed for analytic purposes, and with the analytics then we send specific tasks to the Reflexis system. As you can see here in the category management, we're showing a specific task here relative to this out-of-stock condition. So you see I have an empty space on the shelf here. Likewise, on screen, we've got the empty space and a red circle indicating replenishment is necessary. More to the point, with regard to the operations personnel within the store, they will see on their Reflexis handheld a specific replenishment task telling them to replenish that specific product. Very efficient, removes any human error-prone nature of the replenishment process, and very, very accurate. When you're out of product and the customer comes, there's a good opportunity to lose that customer to a competitor. So what we do in that condition is we send a message to the ESL, who then use one of their pre-programmed messages to communicate to the customer. So in this particular case, as you see, the electronic shelf label associated with that particular product has turned red. There's a message here to the customer that says, we're out of this product, sorry, but please order online. Here's a QR code to allow you to order at a discount. You've increased loyalty to the customer, but likewise enhanced that relationship so that they don't pop off and go home and go to Amazon. Yep. We'll now do a second condition where we will return and replenish to show that that replenishment has occurred. Two things will happen with regard to that. One, the particular ESL will go back to the price because we now have product in place. And secondly, the condition or task on the replenishment system, on the Reflexis system will show that everything has been done. If we would, we're also going to create a planogram compliance issue by swapping out two very similar products, two different sets of headphones, and the system will show us that there's a planogram problem, that is to say the shelves do not look like what they are intended to look like. So again, we will trigger a manual gather of an image, and you'll see two things occur. Number one, we'll get a new task with regard to on the Reflexis side. We will also see here in particular, you see in the task list that we're being shown currently, you see two products on the upper right with aquamarine circles on them. That indicates, as you'll see on the left side here, that those are products that need to be relocated. If you press on one of the products, it'll show you detail on the product, but also draw a line to show you what product it needs to be swapped with. So we can swap the products to get back into planogram compliance. And if you'll note the ESL before from the product that we returned to the shelf, it no longer has the emergency message to the customer, but is back to the standard pricing. Okay. So from this perspective, why should a customer care? Why should you care with regard to your customers and prospects? There's a significant impact in the retail environment in all areas. For example, revenue. Harvard Business Review indicates that retailers lose about 4% of their total revenue every year because of out-of-stock conditions. We've seen them in the field as high as 15%. Any retailer that hears that they can get a 4% increase for a much, much less cost will sit up and listen. Secondly, planogram compliance can also impact revenue by about 3%, price compliance by about 1%, with the combination of the electronic shelf labels controlling price and our being able to assist in customer loyalty by providing those information messages to them, we can hit that 1% additionally as well. Finally, you have an indication with regard to your employees. They are A, much more efficient, B, much, much less error prone because the machine is doing those repetitive tasks over and over without error, and much more engaged by virtue of that fact. So again, we've hit all three pillars of the modern store for Zebra with regard to enhancing the relationship and the customer experience, with regard to engaging the workforce more effectively, and with regard to optimizing inventory for increased revenue and lower costs.